guys, it is becoming clear that some people actually supported Biafra in those days. Can you imagine that a guy had to buy himself in support of Biafra? Honestly, this news is going to shock you. Just take your time and watch this video about an American who buyed himself because he was not happy with the way things was going, you know, in Biafra land during the Civil War. Take your time, watch this video, and let me know your honest reaction in the comment section below. Now take a look.
BIANCA OJUKWU, Nigeria's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs and widow of the late Biafran leader, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu OJUKWU, has fulfilled a decades-old promise by honoring Bruce Mayrock, the 20-year-old American student who died protesting during the Civil War on May 30th, 1969. Mayrock set himself ablaze in front of the United Nations headquarters in New York, desperate to draw the world's attention to the atrocities of the Nigerian Civil War. Before his passing, OJUKWU had confided in BIANCA his desire to immortalize the man. Now, 13 years after OJUKWU's death, BIANCA kept that promise. She built the Bruce Mayrock Memorial Building, a 3-story edifice with a memorial hall, exhibition gallery, and conference center. She also launched the Bruce Mayrock Memorial Foundation, which empowers youth through skills training, entrepreneurship, leadership, and peace building. BIANCA described the project as a tribute to courage and a lasting reminder of the power one voice can have against injustice. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Okay. 51 years after the end of the genocidal, fratricidal civil war in Nigeria, 1967 to May 1970. I think it's refreshing, it is enlightening, it is instructive to see that the memory has not faded. And this is what Nigerians must realize, that memory is something that is very important as part of our collective heritage. And what Mrs. BIANCA OJUKWU is doing is to remind us of that part of history. Now, so this Bruce Mayrock Memorial Building is to remind us of that history. It's supposed to be a memorial building that records the history, iconic moments, and also pay tribute to this American who sacrificed himself in protest against that fratricidal war, in which over 100,000 troops died, over 2 million people were displaced. On a daily basis, over 10,000 persons were killed, and a lot of persons also suffered from malnutrition. Children, particularly. We talk about Gaza now. In Nigeria, between 1967 and 70, we had a similar situation where many children died for no reason, for a war in which they were completely hors de combat. So this is about memory, this is about history, this is about a museum that will provide education for generations to come. So I think it's a commendable initiative. But what is more important here is about Mrs. OJUKWU's loyalty, commitment, devotion as a widow. One of the last wishes of Odumegwu OJUKWU was that he would like a memorial building to be built in honor of this gentleman, Bruce Mayrock, who engaged in an act of self-immolation in identification with the people of Biafra. Now, some widows are merry widows. Once their husbands die, they just break off. But this is BIANCA OJUKWU respecting one of the last wishes of her husband and showing that even in death, she's a very faithful and loyal wife. In Nigeria, even some wives, when their husbands are alive, they are disrespectful and they are disloyal, and they don't even, hold the institution, serious. So this must be a message to all wives, to all persons in the institution of marriage. And I think that Ndigbo will be very proud of Mrs. BIANCA OJUKWU. It's not just Bruce Mayrock that she's paying tribute to. She's also paying tribute to her husband. She's paying tribute to the cause of Biafra. She's also paying tribute to our collective history. Because whatever may be the circumstances today, it's not a part of history that we should wish away. It should be a sober reminder that no country can survive 2 civil wars. And that's why the major concern of every Nigerian should be peace and unity. When we remember the Biafran history, all of us should live together. What are you talking about? Is it the war in Kwale? Is it the war in the genocide in Asaba? Is it the malnutrition and the crisis that Nigerians face collectively? The message is, as General Gowon put it, to go on with one Nigeria is a task that must remain an eternal obligation for every one of us as Nigerian compatriots.
Well, over the weekend, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu inaugurated the first phase of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, a project under the Ministry of Works in collaboration with high-tech construction company founded by Gilbert Shagori. During the inauguration, Tinubu described Shagori as his partner in daring, commending him for the successful completion of the 30-kilometer highway. Tinubu also reflected on the journey he undertook with Shagori to tame the Atlantic while he was Lagos State Governor. Let's take a look.
To the contractors and my partner in daring, it was tough for us. Engineer Roland Shagori. We come together to tame the Atlantic. My leaders in Lagos thought it was impossible. So many other leaders wanted us to abandon it. And federal government rejected the idea that they will take responsibility. Then I said, we will do it. Thank you, Roland. I appreciate you.
Well, congratulations to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Ministry of Work, and of course high-tech for that successful completion. Often we hear the government, saying that they are going to inaugurate or the commission things, and it never happens, and it did happen right on time. But there were a lot of reactions that trailed this actual event over the weekend. Well, during the inauguration ceremony, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu appeared to have snubbed the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, in apparent confirmation of the speculation of a strained relationship between the president and the governor. In a video that has now gone viral, Tinubu was seen exchanging pleasantries with dignitaries who attended the ceremony. However, when Tinubu reached Sanwo-Olu, he ignored the governor and extended a handshake to Usman Ododo, the governor of Kogi State. Let's take a look. All right, we saw that video. I've been by. There's been that story. No, because you're smiling, but that there's been that speculation, regarding the whole rancor between Sanwo-Olu and Tinubu, and that, even Dapo Abiodun had to speak for the governor of Lagos. There's been that speculation since Mudashiru Obasa was, removed and reinstated, obviously. But before we discuss, let's take this story to tie it all together. Meanwhile, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, during the inauguration ceremony, advised second-term governors to be deliberate in choosing their successors, warning against handing power to unprepared loyalists. He noted that such actions often lead to betrayal. Akpabio also hailed the president as a visionary leader for the successful completion of the 30-kilometer highway, asserting that it is a testament to the fact that things are getting better. Let's take a look.
And you, Mr. President, we have a president who has both sight and vision. And this, for me, is something I must advise our governors, particularly those of them who are on their second terms. Do not give power to anybody who is not looking for power. Don't give power to anybody who is not prepared. Don't go hiding in your heart that this boy is very subservient. He's always kneeling down when he's talking to me. The wife is always rolling on the floor. I think I should make this one the governor. If you do that, you are giving power to somebody who is not prepared for governance, and they will disappoint you. That is where betrayals normally start. I'm just trying to advise. For the progressive governors, I believe that all of you are doing well because you are being led by a man who has both sight and vision. This is like 90 kilometers already done within 1 year. I have no doubt that very soon I'll drive through Akwa Ibom down to Lagos to, singing song and saying things are getting better for Nigeria. Things are getting better. For Asiwaju is on the throne, things are getting better, things are getting better, things are getting better. Mr. President, things are getting better. Hey, the things are getting better. For Nigeria is on the way, progressive government, things are getting better. Asiwaju, congratulations. I thank you all.
Asiwaju, congratulations. Things are getting better. Things are getting better.
That's a very Asiwaju,
President. But of course, this video, obviously, there are so many dimensions in what he said, especially the fact that, he's really confirming that it is the governors that give power to other governors, with his statement there. And the fact that he's saying things are getting better, yes, obviously, we see the 30-kilometer road, but will Nigerians agree with him? Adefemi Akinsonya.
Oh, okay. So let's start with the Senate President's comments.
Yes.
The only issue I really had with what he said was where he implied that an incumbent has the power to choose their successor. That's just not what we should be platforming at all. So I think that's what I had a problem with. Going back to now Lagos State Governor and this believed snub. Initially when I saw the video, I thought that perhaps the president didn't see the Lagos State governor. I thought that's what it was. And then, also when people saying that, he didn't shake his hand, the governor didn't outstretch his hand in order for it to be shaken. I don't think I saw that.
He didn't make enough of an effort.
I don't think he did so. Do you understand? But he did obviously greet the president. He did obviously greet the president. If we are to play into this narrative that there is some sort of feud between the Lagos State governor and the president, and that stems back from the Mudashiru Obasa situation, I do think that it's a bit unfair on the Lagos State governor. I think that when it comes to situations like this, a governor should be, since we're talking about, a governor should be able to, exercise his rights and powers as an actual governor. And I understand that godfatherism is a thing. I understand that when we're looking at someone who's actual political legacy at the helm of Lagos, he wouldn't have been able to do so were it not for the support of the now president. But I do think that in many instances, the Lagos State governor has been treated unfairly.
Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Abati, your thoughts on both?
Let me start with the Sanwo-Olu story, which people have been discussing all over the weekend. Now, Professor David Aworawo, on this day live yesterday, had a concept. He said, look, the governor may have shaken hands with the president at the airport. Right. They may have met at other occasions. We all know that President Tinubu is the godfather of Lagos politics, and Governor Sanwo-Olu is his person. He may just have said, look, I've already greeted you so many times today. Let me attend to people who are coming to Lagos. However, the part of it that some people are uncomfortable with is that when it was time to speak, that road is in Lagos.
In Lagos, so he's the host governor.
They said, the reporters that were there, they said the president decided to call Governor Dapo Abiodun to be the one to speak in Sanwo-Olu's territory. But I assume that, it's a family affair. They will resolve it. It's a father and son kind of thing. I think the matter will be resolved. Yeah. As for, one other thing, I saw a story in this morning, a group called NEFGAT. They said, why are we commissioning 30 kilometers out of 750 kilometers of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway? They said 30 kilometers doesn't amount to much. Why don't we wait till we have the whole 750 kilometers before the Ministry of Works says that we should be commissioning? That's another side to the story. And that's the one I think should concern Nigerians. Why 30? Why not 100? Yes. Why not 500? All right. However, on Senator Godswill Akpabio saying no governor should impose a sycophant, people will be kneeling down, people who are not prepared for power. No. In fact, our position is that no governor should impose anybody. It's impossible. Anybody who wants to be governor should be chosen by the people of Nigeria.
Agreed. People of Nigeria.
This is called democracy. Yes. It's about free choice. It's about the power of the people. Yes. It's not about an outgoing governor saying this is the person I want to succeed me. That's part of the problem. This anointment, entitlement, godfather syndrome in Nigerian politics.
Well said, Dr. Abati. I did see a statement from Sanwo-Olu over the weekend praising, President Tinubu, saying that he's making meaningful progress and that he supports his administration. Well, all right, we'll follow up on this story in Lagos.
A guy from Benue has come out to speak on why Nnamdi Kanu is still being held. I mean, many people are now resonating with the message of Nnamdi Kanu. You must have seen some northerners, even some Hausa men coming out to say, wow, that Nnamdi Kanu is a person opening their eyes to now understand that the Fulanis came in, they welcomed them, and that today they've been displaced. I mean, the Fulani has taken over. And now this Benue guy is here to talk about why Nnamdi Kanu is facing what he's facing in prison. Why they are not ready to release him is because he is defiant, he's not bowing to pressure. He's not giving up his dream. He's fighting on despite the incarceration, despite the humiliation, despite the disgrace. In short, he compared Nnamdi Kanu with Igbohu. That look at Igbohu. Igbohu has surrendered. Because this fight is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. Igbohu has surrendered. Now, Nnamdi Kanu is still holding on to his fight, holding on to his belief, holding on to freedom for an Igbo. Now, I'm just going to take you through some of the reactions, you know, that people have reacted. Like this person say, you get sense. That means what you are saying makes sense. Another person said, madman go. Madman go and save yourself first. You buy our people, and when we remind you what you did, you will say we should forget it. Go to hell. Our leader will be released. Go and push the Fulani to stop buying your people. I don't really think this guy understood this message. You know, this is I think go and watch the video. Let me just write him here to watch the video till the end. Before commenting. So I think this person he thought the guy was not making sense, but I think he's making a lot of sense in what he's saying. He says because Nnamdi Kanu is not giving up, that's why he's still being held. Then this person said, my brother, you spoke well, but don't blame any Igbo man. If my father stabbed your back, if my father stabs your father's back, you also give him your back to see if he will stab you again. The only way Igbos can trust other tribe is by action, not by words. Anyway, the guy that made this video, I think he spoke a whole lot of sense, you know. And another person said, you just said he was fighting, not just fighting for Igbos, but for all tribes. So let every tribe start mobilizing for his release. If he comes out, only him can unify other tribes with the Igbos. The Igbos will listen to him. If he says, let's forgive and forget, Igbos will listen. I think this makes sense, you know. Brother, if you want to walk towards release of innocent man, go ahead. Don't say some or many Igbos are hindering you. You cannot wait to discuss with Ndi Igbo for that cause, if you are really genuine and determined. Anyway, and another person says, since you know that what you are waiting for, social media talk cannot help us go anyway. This is time, and time is now, not too much talk. You are doing great, bro. I don't know why other people are just, you know, attacking the guy. I think his message is very straightforward. Bro, you are a bloody liar. How can you say what you don't know? What do you even know about the struggle? You better do your findings very well before you jump to a conclusion. Why now? Please reply me and let me update you on the struggle properly, okay? And this other person said true talk. Anyway, like I've said, this guy made a video talking about why Nnamdi Kanu is being held is because he's insisting he's going to keep fighting for Biafra and that he's not backing down. But people like Igbo, they've backed down, and you know, they are no more pursuing the Yoruba nation. You know, all those stuff. So I don't think this guy made any mistake in his message. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Thank you.